and welcome to this installment of Frank and Mary here in Southborough. If you haven't seen this show before, my name is Art Bergeron. I'm an elder law attorney at Myrick O'Connell, but this is not about elder law. This is about my friends Frank and Mary. If you've ever been to my presentations at the Senior Center, you see me talk about my friends Frank and Mary and their kids, Peter, Paul, and Mary Jr., and how their goal in life is to live in their house until they die and be buried in the backyard. And if you're in Southborough, that's where you want to be, except now, this is Frank and Mary, the COVID-19 edition. You've been stuck in your house way too long, and you're dying to get out, and you're stressed out, and we're going through a whole lot of things. So that's what we're dealing with today. So my wonderful co-host is Doug Peck, who from Seniors Helping Seniors. That's his day job, but he lives here in Southborough, and he inevitably finds these great guests for us. Except today, I actually found one. So Doug, thank you for letting me invite this guest. Michel Grasso from Wellness Synergy is here. I met her when I was doing a show in Westborough. She lives in Westborough. Their offices are in Hudson, but their firm, the group of them, is really devoted to helping you deal with a whole bunch of stresses and strains that you may be dealing with in your life. And I thought that Michel would be an ideal person to talk to folks, since, as I told Michel, you know, the folks who watch this show are seniors, probably the most vulnerable. I was just hearing that, you know, the governor recently talked about things are opening up, but he continues to say, if you're 65 years or older, you really ought to be staying home, right? And that's it, because, of course, we're the folks that are the most affected. We are the most affected by all of this. So, Michel, could you just start off by talking a little bit about Synergy Wellness and about kind of who's there and what they do and all of that, right?
Sure.
And then Doug and I can both talk to you about what the issues are that you're hearing from clients now, and then and how folks can face this, especially seniors. So just talk about you and how you got involved in this and what Synergy is, and then we'll go from there. Okay.
Well, thank you. Nice to meet you, Doug.
Nice to meet you.
And thanks for having me. So Synergy Wellness Center, as you mentioned, Art, is in Hudson, and we have a really wide range of services for wellness for all ages. We do have a range of services for seniors as well as for young children. So really including things such as yoga and meditation, which we have virtual classes now, chair yoga, very gentle classes. We have mental health counseling for individuals who might be facing some struggles with their emotional or mental health, and accept insurance for those. We also offer acupuncture and Chinese medicine, which we're doing a little bit of virtually, massage therapy, which of course is something we hope to get back to on June 8th, and different types of energy and body work and workshops and life coaching and some nutritional support. So a really wide range of services. Our mission is to strengthen mind, body, and spirit, specifically for those who are caring for others professionally or personally, as well as those that they care for. So, you know, we really strive to take care of people who are constantly in that role of giving to other people. So we've been able to pivot during the past 8 weeks to having yoga and meditation through Zoom, as we have here, and then also to telehealth for all of our mental health services. So we have 9 clinicians who see children, adolescents, adults, seniors, couples, families, and it's been a real blessing to be able to continue and to take on a lot of new clients who have contacted us needing support during this time.
That's a lot. And by the way, I just wanted to mention, as you mentioned, we are now in the period, and this show may be showing during the period where things may be opening up, and where you folks may actually be opening back up. Are you anticipating that you may be opening in the near future?
Well, actually considered an essential service for the mental health counseling. So we could technically be open now. We do have a couple of clinicians who have been seeing some clients in person. But frankly, as long as insurance companies are continuing to cover telehealth, I think most of our clients and staff are preferring to see clients that way. Though it does look like we will open for acupuncture and for counseling if, as wished on June 1st. And then June 8th, if this phase 1 goes well, we should be able to open for massage therapy and that kind of thing. So we are prepared. We've been preparing for weeks to reopen. So I kind of feel like we're, going, heading in that direction where we were sort of preparing to close and now we're getting ready. I feel hopeful and optimistic, at least on a limited basis, to be able to serve the community again.
And Doug, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's okay. I was just waiting for folks. I was just thinking because we deal a lot with caregivers, and we know now where we usually go in ourselves and support caregivers that they're unable to get that support. They don't want anybody else in their home, so they are particularly stressed out because they're 24/7, and it's been 8 weeks, and it could go on for another 4 or 5 weeks. So, are there any sort of simple recommendations that you would give to caregivers right now? I mean, we always tell them you need to take care of yourself first as well. It's difficult. So what would you recommend, even if it's 10 minutes of meditation? I don't know what it would be, but what would be your recommendation?
Sure. I have a few thoughts. The first is sort of a more general message, really, which is sort of just around how to approach this on a daily basis, which many of the individuals that we're working with are struggling, say, with feeling anxious or uncertain about what's next, is to really sort of having this phrase of just to help ride the wave through this time. This is something that none of us have been through before. It's a very uncertain, and we may know people who are sick or have been ill, or we have loved ones or ourselves in a high risk category because of age or medical issues, or someone who's having a baby. That feeling anxious right now and concern is really, really normal. And to kind of not beat yourself up over it, okay? And to give yourself the grace to know that. We have grandparents who are raising grandchildren or trying to educate them. There are just so many external pressures, and some of these things may even bring up past memories or triggers of trauma where people may have had uncertain and traumatic times in the past. So there's just a lot that's coming up. In addition to that, people are feeling grief, grief over, gosh, things have changed. Are they going to go back to the way they were? Or I'm missing my loved ones. I'm missing the things that I enjoyed doing. So there's a lot of uncertainty. This is uncharted territory. So we just invite people to ride this wave and to just know that we've just got to kind of keep on it and get through it. But whether we're all feeling these things together, and to forgive yourself for that. Especially caregivers are always in this role of, I can do it. I'm a rock. I may not need all that help, but I think that we all need to acknowledge that it's hard on everyone.
Yeah, it is. We deal a lot. What we see, and particularly with seniors, is the caregivers are often taking care of people with some mild cognitive impairment, which can make it, put an additional stress on. And I don't mean to put additional burden on a caregiver, but would you recommend saying, look, maybe you want to plan on a regular time to do some exercise. It might even just be simple chair yoga. Nothing, if you haven't been doing it before, nothing too hard or complex, but just something simple, or some very simple meditation or something on a regular basis, just so you have something to sort of take away some of that anxiety.
Yeah, so actually that's one of I have some specific suggestions, and that is absolutely one of them, which is really around creating some joy, right, in every day, and making time to think about what are the things I really liked to do and enjoyed before this all happened, making a list of those things, and then carving out some time each day for that, whether it's taking a walk, it's gardening, it's reading, it's doing a puzzle, It could even be having someone come by outside or through a window to have a socially distant visit, but to really carve out that time to listen to music, or just a space for joy. Someone said to me that, the CDC didn't say that anything about not having fun, right, during this time. So just making sure that there's something that you get to do that keeps you smiling, each day is really, really critical. And Doug, you mentioned something along with that about having that be a regular thing. One of the things that's also very important for everyone is to keep to a schedule and to think about what your day is going to look like. Look at getting up at the same time, getting dressed, and having your routines with meals and so on. Having a schedule does help to create those routines and maintain those routines that you had before this all started.
Yeah.
Really helpful.
Yeah, but I like her idea of joy, of doing something really fun, because it's not always the thing you think about when you're dealing with all these other stresses. To build that in, make sure you're doing that, whether it's for, I don't know, just a half an hour or 15 minutes or whatever, just to make sure you really have something that you really do and enjoy and look forward to.
Even the other day, with the weather getting so nice, it's just even sitting out and just feeling the warm sun on your face. It's just, it feels good, and it also just slows you down a little bit, right?
Yeah, it just takes some of that edge off. So I know that one of the things that you work with clients on in terms of dealing with a lot of these issues is just meditation, and developing meditation habits, or what I traditionally hear referred to as mindfulness habits, in order to help you deal with a whole bunch of these stresses.
Yes.
Can you just talk to folks a little bit about that?
Sure. So mindfulness, as many people know, is really the act and just desire to be present in the moment, which sometimes right now can feel filled with maybe some unpleasant feelings. But what I'd like to even try with you, if you'd be willing, is to do a little bit of practice around mindfulness and the notion of gratitude, and having that gratitude, whether it's before we have our meal or just in thinking about your personal situation wise. There's health stresses and financial and so on. So just taking a moment to be in the moment is so critical. So I'd like to try a mindfulness breath exercise. And one of the biggest benefits of this is that it slows down your nervous system very, very quickly. And this is also something that you can do anytime, any place, at home. And so would it be okay if we kind of tried this all together?
This sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds great. And for those of you at home, this is a great, try this. Try this. All right.
Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to ask everyone to put one of your hands on your belly. Okay. And we're going to do a few breaths together. Ask everyone if you would just close your eyes. This will just take about a minute or two. So breath is a wonderful way to slow us down, and this is called the 4-count breath. What we're going to do with our hand on our belly, first I'll tell you first, we're going to breathe in, and we're going to feel our hand rise as we count into 4 breaths. Then we're going to hold it for 4 counts if you can, and then we're going to release for 4 counts. Okay. If you find that you can't quite hold it for 4, that's okay. Just do whatever is comfortable for you. Okay. So here we go. So I want you to breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. Last one. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. How do you feel?
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Any different than you did before?
I felt much calmer, and I thought I was calm before. But I do, yeah.
You
I
do.
think everybody should try this at home. I mean, it is so simple. There's not, people hear meditation sometime and think it's a very mysterious thing, but it really
Yeah.
is about mindfulness, and it's just very gentle. And that was very short, and you can do it any time of day. I think that's a nice practice.
Mm.
It is amazing to me how wonderful that is. I remember the first time that I tried that, and like there's a wonderful there's a program at UMass, a stress reduction program at UMass that's kind of based around mindfulness. And I remember being invited, going, I don't know, I don't want to be a Buddhist here, but at the same time I was interested, and I remember just learning that and becoming accustomed to just breathing that way.
Mm-hmm.
And it just changes things, because it just focuses you on the moment,
Yeah.
and it's a wonderful thing, just a wonderful. And I so often, I still remember there was a line, we Doug, you're dealing with folks, we're dealing with folks who are caregivers who are dealing with folks with dementia. And there was a line from this book by a guy named John Zeisel, who was a wonderful, well-known writer, developer of programs for folks with dementia, who always talked about that a person with dementia can be a grace to those around them, a grace to those around them, among other things, because they cause you to be in the present, that because they can't be anyplace else, right?
Right.
Past and future, you're going to have a conversation about past and future. It's not going to go very well, Whereas to truly be in the present is a wonderful gift. But to your point, Michel, you need to learn that, to be in the present. You need some ways to kind of get there.
Yeah. And the breath is such a wonderful way to get there. And I guess I also hope that, as some people study meditation, that's their life's work, that again, to sort of be gentle with yourself and just try it for a minute or two, and don't worry about those thoughts that are like coming in and out of your mind, because that's just sort of how our minds work, but just to breathe. We all have that innate gift, and sometimes when we feel uncomfortable feelings, that's like the first thing to go. So just to come back to the breath is a wonderful place to be.
Mm-hmm.
And are there any other suggestions that you would have for folks who are dealing with this, both for themselves, they're just stressed, right now and cooped up, right?
Yeah.
Or because they're also dealing with somebody else, or taking care of somebody else who is also going through a lot.
Yeah.
Or anything else that they can be doing, kind of, to be just helping them get through this.
Yeah.
And get through the day.
One of the other really important pieces of managing one's health through this is getting enough rest.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps us so much during the day. And that's been hard for some people. So a couple of suggestions would be to be sure before bedtime to kind of give yourself an hour before bedtime to wind down, to have ideally no screen time.
No screen time.
I know. If you are someone who likes to have TV before you go to sleep at night, have it be something, pleasant and light, and, not the news, that kind of thing. And for some people, waking up in the middle of the night is also a real issue for various reasons. And if you do find yourself waking and having trouble going back to sleep, to just maybe get up a little bit, have some tea, look at a photo album, knit, do something quiet and soft that will help you kind of get back into a restful state again. But, to not sort of like make yourself toss and turn, but it's okay to just get up and acknowledge, hey, I'm awake now and I'm going to, calm myself to get back to sleep. And I would like to say for individuals who maybe seniors that may be watching, that to please not underestimate your value to the others that are in your life right now, and to feel there might be a tendency, for example, I know my mom is 86 and she has some medical issues and she sometimes doesn't want to bother me. I would just hope and put out there that the wish for you not to feel that you're bothering the young people or other people in your life, because we miss you, number one. Number two, you may not realize the effect that your words will have on us, because you've lived a lot longer than many of us, and if anyone can get through this and have the right mentality, it's you. I can say from speaking to my mom about times that she had going through World War II and a lot of difficulty in Eastern Europe, the stories that she's told me during this time have been eye-opening, but also left me with feelings of gratitude that even though we're in this tough situation, that we do have many things to be grateful for. So please know that your loved ones, family and friends want to hear from you, want to be there for you, and are grateful for you.
Yeah, I think that's an important point for sure.
That's
We're getting close to the end. One quick question for you. So you mentioned nutritional support as well. And this is a time when people are home and you have, all these foods are available to you to eat, and you can stress eat. But is there a suggestion that says, don't eat too many carbs, or don't do this? Or I don't think people should change their diet now because it's a really difficult time. But, any sort of simple healthy eating tip that could help, again, particularly seniors?
Well, the one piece is to keep moving. Number one,
Okay.
we find ourselves, I think all of us, moving a little bit less because we're not out and about, because that will help offset what we're eating too, right? But I think it's important to watch the sugar. That's something that we can do when we stress eat: sugar, and as well as the carbohydrates, which tend to kind of elevate our sugars, and then we kind of can crash.
Okay.
So to focus on foods that are high in protein, and of course lots of fruits and vegetables that will keep our immune systems feeling strong. As we move into warmer weather, I think the desires for different types of foods change. So we may be moving away from hot soups to things that are a little bit cooler in temperature. So to kind of go with that temperature shift and just focus on things that are that are for you. And I would say stay away from sugar and also from caffeine. It doesn't mean you can't have your coffee and all of those wonderful joys, but I think everything in moderation. Because now stress eating.
So I shouldn't use that ad then. I shouldn't.
Well, I think maybe not after 3 p.m. Everyone knows their body, right?
Right.
Body is what you can handle.
So Michel, I'm sure that if I can ask our good friend Terry from Southborough Cable if you could send her information regarding your contact information, so if folks want to follow up on any of this, right? Want to talk to you folks or want to learn some more about what you're doing, if people actually can get out of their house and actually someday can make it all the way to Hudson, right? You've got a great spot in Hudson.
We would love that. I would also just welcome you to check out our website for our range of services, which is www.synergy-wellness-center.com. And regarding the mental health piece, we are offering complimentary 15-minute phone consultations for folks who have questions or about themselves or a loved one who may be having a mental health issue. You can give us a call at 978-333-7426, and we have people on the phone Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 for that.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Michel, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think this is really helpful to folks. We're all trying to get through this together. Doug, thank you, and thank you for your questions. I know your day job, you're dealing with these kinds of issues all the time. Folks, thank you very much for watching. I hope that these shows and the other shows that we've done here have been helpful to you, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next installment of Frank and Mary here in Southborough, the COVID-19 edition. Thank you.
Stay well, everyone.
Take care, everyone.